Haley here, just in the pilot house. So I've been pulling fasteners. I have most of the foredeck up. I've never done anything like this before, so it's been a really big learning experience for me. So the original bronze screws, a lot of the time they just break when I try and pull them out. So that means when we pull up the decking, it'll break the heads off anyway. So I really don't actually need to pull those up. I'm just pulling up the Robertson. They're steel and they're a little bit longer than the original screws. And I'm finding they're a lot easier to pop off the Teak caps and actually get out. Yeah, like I said, never done anything like this before, but the reason why I like this stuff is because it is giving me the opportunity to learn. I know like 1,000 times more about boat decking than I did even last week, which is, I mean, probably boring for some people, but I think it's fun. But it's gonna be a lot of work over the next couple days.
All right, well, Haley's done a lot of the fasteners here. The boat is cleaned out. We are ready to get down to real work here, and that calls ripping up some teak. So cue the time lapse. Let's get this stuff out of here. All right. Nice. Okay, well that was a pretty action-packed day. The teak deck is now off. Got a hell of a windstorm going on here, so we gotta move quickly here. Fucking Christ. The wind does not let up at all. Still very, very loud in here. But we found some good plywood here. This might actually be just glassed over entirely. It's certainly, as I suspected, much better towards the midships. And then we got some other sections that are fully rotten. So we're going to be ripping up all that.
So we're working on the deck. We pulled off all the teak, and I'm working on getting the remaining fasteners out right now. So if you look, you can see this is the clean surface that we've made. Simon is currently putting down the first layer of epoxy, and then it's like thinner, and then he's taking a thicker mixture and going over top and filling in all the screw holes, because there's a fucking shitload of screw holes here. It's like every 4 inches and then every 1.5 inches there's a screw hole, and we've had to pull up all those by hand. And that's on 51 feet of deck by, what's this, 11 or 14 feet wide?
14 feet wide.
So obviously there's the pilot house and some hatches and stuff, so it's not like the whole area, but it's still a lot of work. But this is our first day of like real progress, which is really exciting.
We're officially moving forward, which is great instead of just demolition all the time. But yeah, so far it's looking like well over 50% of the deck is in good condition. So we're hoping that it'll be about 80% of the deck, but we'll settle for 75. That would be nice, you know?
This spot looks nasty.
You can see every screw hole had a little bit of moisture, but there's no rot there. So once it dries out, then we can epoxy and fill that in, and that's just good to go. But then over here we're getting areas where, can I borrow this for a second? Where it's quite a bit softer. So that is no good. That's regular ply, so that's fine. So yeah, it's not so bad.
Sorry, it's gonna be a lot of
because the camera was going.
No, these ones all kind of stripped here.
Put some weight into it. Come on.
That's all the weight I have.
Come on, stick it in there.
Dude, that's
I'll
like.
put my palm on it, and I bet you it'll work. Give me that. No, I lied.
She done.
That's
Hammer time.
That's
Oh, you have to put that much weight.
Yeah, it's all
Damn. I don't have that much weight to put.
Wear a
But
weight belt or something.
Think heavy thoughts.
Heavy thoughts.
Worldwide famine.
Whoa. Oh man, that's a real bummer. Now that we've seen what good chunks of the deck look like, this is what the bad chunks look like. And this is probably the worst chunk so far. So we're gonna just go to town on this. There's nothing structural about any of this. So now we just need to figure out how far this goes, how thick it is, and how we're gonna replace it. Haley, look at that!
It's a girl! I just delivered this from the deck over here. It's a prism?
It's a deck prism, and that has been the
cool.
source of a massive amount of leaking into the galley. So there's a load of rot here. Look at that
The
deck.
roof isn't even intact in that area.
Just terrible. So we're gonna have to cut out probably a 4 foot by 4 foot section in here.
It's right above the stove.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where this floppy shit is.
Yeah. So that's all coming out.
Oh yeah.
You've been working here solo. You've done a lot of prep work for our deck work.
All this stuff. I mean, you did the other side, but you know how long that fucking took.
Yeah, it takes ages.
Yeah, and there's like 3 layers to it. So.
And we're not being gentle either. And it still takes ages.
It's such a fucking pain in the ass because I have to basically like crawl under there, and then I can't get the saw at a good angle, but I was gonna leave it for you, but now I have to do it still anyways, so.
Well, I've just installed a new shower in our head.
I did put a bucket on the toilet because
It
it was
works.
leaking water in there, so.
Yeah, the shower only works when it's raining, but
I feel like that head has more issues than just like the general stuff falling.
I don't, you know what? I don't want to think about that right now.
No, we don't have to. We'll just not talk
Okay.
about it.
This is a $168 sheet of plywood. This is only half of it, so it's like $330, $340.
Quality.
Some fancy stuff.
I'm sitting in my car because it's wet outside. I've been trying to set the tarp up for about an hour and a half. It's not going great. It's just not fitting properly. So there's 2 tarps. I think I'm trying to set up the wrong one, but it's like 50 feet long and I'm small. It's not working. I'm wasting time and I'd rather be doing anything else and not soaking wet. So it's unfortunate, but you know what? Fuck it. Honestly, not worth the time. I am removing the trim pieces with a saw. So I'm just kind of like cutting through the Secaplex to make it easy to pull off, prying it off, and then I'm cutting through the remaining teak on the deck and then pulling it off with a crowbar. I'm gonna go into the cabin and start making it homey so that Simon has somewhere to sleep inside while he's here. He's been sleeping in his car or his van, which is, I appreciate the commitment to the cause, but it can't be that pleasant. I had a beer while I was waiting and I don't think I'm gonna get a lot more done. So I'm just gonna put down the plastic sheeting, fix the tarps, and then I'm gonna get the fuck out of here because it's hard work.
The deck beams were so rotten here that all it took was a hammer for an entire beam to fall right out.
Oh, good morning. My back feels like a stack of Jenga blocks. I am cold and miserable and very sore, but we got this piece of ply in last night. This is the first piece of wood that we're really laying on the deck. Fresh new stuff. Feels really good. It kicked off sometime last night and it's hard. Good and hard. I like that. This is one of 4 sections on the foredeck that we're going to tackle. I just tackled it right now as kind of a starter one. We've got more rotten beams. We got rotten beam shelf, and we've got some real structural issues that we're gonna have to tackle before we can lay on fresh ply on here. Lots more deck work, baby! And then we get to do the aft deck, which God knows what's going on back there. Luckily, it's not just me and Haley doing this anymore, but Barry is arriving at the airport tomorrow afternoon, so I'm gonna go pick him up, and I'll throw him at this meat grinder. Barry's finally back. Look at him. Sticks out like a sore thumb. I can't believe you got through the border looking like that. You look like a fucking drug dealer. Break it apart. It's disgusting.
Sailor dude ever.
Get a boat.
Oh, I was hungover, so I just left the house.
Okay, getting to work. So far, I've traced out where I need to put the scarves. I've taken the teak trim off. It's not going well, so that's fun. I get to mill up some wood later and make a little replacement for here. Start making cuts. But there's also electrical run through here, so I gotta get rid of all that. And then I'm gonna get rid of this one. Straight back from sailing, no real rest, just straight into boat work. I was pretty beat at this point, but I had no choice. Gotta keep going, gotta make shit happen. I was definitely beyond broke. I really overextended myself to go on that trip, and the pay scenario was more complicated than we anticipated, and so I came back with $0 in my pocket. Thankfully, I had a boat delivery lined up for later in the week, and I had a bunch of nice, valuable things that I had been hanging on to for a while, so I just started selling things and doing little boat deliveries to make my way. Got the first big scarf cut really roughly. I still have to shape it, which is gonna suck. I'll have to use a sanding disc because there's fasteners coming through it. And tons of nails here. I'll grind those away with an angle grinder. And this one, that one's fine. This one is rotten, and it rots all the way to the end here, and even comes out this side rotten. So I think the move is gonna be to cut these two away here, cut them away here and here, and replace those. Got it.
Did I run your video yet? I tried.
Amazing.
Hey, we're just repairing beams. So that is the mast.
It's one of the beams connected to the mast partner. Yeah,
the mast partner. So very important beam that we just removed, but we're still standing. Well, I'm sitting, but everyone's okay despite my immediate concern. It's fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the new pieces of marine ply over top, and then we'll deal with this from underneath once it's sealed, because at this point we have 3 parts of the deck open and it's gonna rain on Saturday. So I think I would feel a lot better if at least 1 or 2 of the holes was covered up. So, because we can do this repair from the inside on a rainy day, I think.
Yeah, for sure we can.
So stay tuned to see if we actually can do that.
Yeah, oh, for sure we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Epoxy getting did. Haley and I just got to the boatyard. It's fucking freezing and foggy. But some cool news. Bob is splashing Gaia tomorrow, and we're splashing Mysterion tonight. They're both wooden boats, so they got to take up a lot of water. And then Haley and I are going to deliver Mysterion with George, the owner, to Heritage Harbor in Kitsilano tomorrow. So there's lots going on. Plus, we got to get to work on Perihelion. Before I can template new beams for here because there was a bit of sag in the roof. We ran a batten on the top side all the way to the sill over here to make sure that everything was level and everything is where they should be. And we did that by using a car jack and a bottle jack and got the deck beams supported. So now I can template. In the meantime, Haley's up on deck somewhere, just over there, using the propane heater to warm up the plywood and get any of the moisture out of it, because you gotta do what you gotta do in winter. And we're being super sketchy, and we bypassed the tipping sensor so that you can hold it dangerously against the plywood. Now I can make templates. They're not perfect, but good enough to get the job done. We got tons more of these to do, so we're just looking for good enough, structurally sound. Doesn't have to be yachty. It's just getting painted over anyway, so happy with this.
Just want to get it done so I can move on to the next section, and then eventually we can have dinner and sit around.
That's the best part about work.
Yes, after it's done. I could not agree more. This is fucking disgusting. Shit.
Yeah, fuck this epoxy.
Tiny one.
I'm gonna start templating.
Yeah, move it on the way. I have
Get out of here. God damn it. Some people. Alright, got this template made up. I just used a hot glue gun, stuck all these pieces together, gives me the shape I need, follows the line, and then I traced out up there, which I'll cut away, and then that is our template for that. And then we'll do 2 carriage bolts through here and epoxy it together, and that'll be good as nail. Go.
Take a picture, it'll last longer.
Pictures bring back the memories.
Oh shit, and tears. Yeah, so I'm just going for a skim coat. It's a nice thin, even layer because we're gonna put fiberglass on top of this. So I'm just having an emphasis on filling in the screw holes and then just thin layer everything. Hope I stirred it enough. Looks fine. Right?
Yeah, looks good.
I like epoxy, it's fun.
Yeah, filling in little gaps here with thickened epoxy. All of this is covered in epoxy in the back there. That's most of the deck getting covered. Woo! Shit's getting done. Oh baby.
We'll sand down this part to match.
Yeah, and just do a lot more fairing filler over time.
Yeah. Sticky little boots, fine. Oh yeah, that's the good
We'll
stuff.
shmoo it in.
Don't tell me what to do.
Shmoo it in there.
Slide. Is that what happened to your lip? You do bite it a lot. Oh, sensual. I'm not going to worry about the top section because that'll be sanded and we can always add more fill.
Yeah, and then any excess can go in any of the screw holes.
Like these ones, for example.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I need to get by the mask bowl.
Did you just call me a mask bowl?
No, I said asshole. Oh yeah, fucking sealed. Oh no, my perfect seal, I ruined it. Okay, gotta move on to the next part. Hopefully that's not all leaking in the head. It's fine.
Well, I think we're all leaking in the head.
Oh, that's a glob. That's a glob.
Schmoo.
It's where you You're like a really high cow.
Schmoo.
Like a cow that's confused what he's doing. It's kind of like caulking. It's sloppy as fuck.
That's some sloppy schmooing if I've ever seen it. I love when she's sloppy with her schmoo.
It's the only way to schmoo, really. Oh shit. But no, my trail is too long. I'll just clean up as I go. It's just panic epoxy. Feel free to leave in the comments how bad of a job I'm doing. If you think you can do better.
There's definitely a 65-year-old guy who's got thoughts on hair.
Yeah, but he's probably so fucking good at it, it puts my shit to shame. I thought I was doing pretty magically, but... Ah, my little thing is too slippery.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Your mitts.
Yeah, these gloves are ruined. Just don't release the schmoo if you don't have to.
That's precious schmoo.
Oh no. It's just gonna
Oh,
be-
you're boxed
I
in
schmooed
now.
everywhere. Don't you have work to do? Oh, are you waiting for me?
Filming is work.
Doesn't you have anything better to do?
And you're just so good at this.
Thanks. Are you just saying that to get in my pants?
Yeah. Is that bad?
Yeah, kind of. I don't hate that shit.
No, you're genuinely really good at it.
No, I know. Expert. The new schmoo expert over here.
Yeah.
Dr. Schmoo. Okay, schmooed. Are we happy with this? Oh, fuck, I still got this little section. That's okay, I'll do it after.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. Oh, it's really sagging into that hole over there. I wonder if it's settling down into the boat. It's okay. I think it's just absorbing a lot.
Good.
Yeah. No, the tape
Thirsty.
seems to be holding it.
Oh, well, I'd rather hit that spot another time with really, really thick stuff like that fiberglass blend.
I got the templates, which are there, drawn onto this beam, or this piece of wood, the timber, and now I'm gonna cut them out. Well, it's not my best work, but I just hammered the first one in. Needs a lot of fairing and sanding to get it proper, but once I get 2 lags through here and some epoxy, she'll be in much better shape. I'm gonna get that joint a little tighter. Progress, she's coming back together. Well, that feels really good. There's a whole new beam there. Wonderful. Haley and I are doing a delivery of Mysterion tomorrow. We brought it here to Steveston from Vancouver a month and a half ago, and it's going to splash today, right now, and then we deliver it tomorrow. So Andrew's here with the travel lift. We're getting ready to pick her up.
Okay, so what's the latest word, Barry, in terms of prognosis for the night and what'll happen tomorrow?
Great question. Well, Andrew's lifting boats at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes.
So I can get the boat over to Steveston by around 8. So I'll get it out of his way, so this isn't a problem. And then tides turn at 1:30, so we can go realistically anytime between like noon and 2.
Okay, so that's on the assumption the boat is going to tighten up.
Totally.
Yeah, and everybody agrees sort of with that.
Yeah. I'll if I'm sitting here like fretting all night and worrying about it, then I'll talk to Andrew and he'll, I guess.
You're going to sleep on the boat then?
I'll either sleep on it or come on board every couple of hours.
Okay.
Yeah, because I live right.
Much appreciated.
Are you close by?
What's that?
Are you close by?
I live in the yard. I live on my boat. Another one way out there. Okay, we're just down at the Steveston docks, double checking that there's a spot for Mysterion, which there is 2, it looks like. I can just come to the end of the docks here, which might be my go-to. Find out why it's painted blue. Transient, and then we got customs check-in only, so I can't pull in there actually. So that looks like the only spot is going to be this spot right here. Alright, Mysterion is idling, warming up. We have our departure plan. Ooh-wee, she is listing. We sussed out our docking spot down in Steveston so we can get out of the way of the lift. There's a lot of boats here coming out today, and our friend Bob is launching his boat today too, which is about 55 feet, so all these boats got to get out of here. And should be a beautiful day all the way to Vancouver. Yeah, so the departure plan is, as you can tell, we have like 3 feet ahead, 3 feet behind, and she's a 50-foot boat, so it's pretty tricky. So I'm going to extend this aft leading spring, and we are going to bear down on it in forward, which will rotate the boat, bring the bow in really close, and get our stern clear of that boat, and then I will back out, use the bow thruster, turn us around, and drive out of here. So hopefully that goes well. Okay, we got our spring line set up with 1 round turn and a half hitch. Haley can hold on to it, keep tension on it, where I bear down on it and go forward. And we're about to ditch the stern line and about to ditch the bow line. and we have our additional fender ready up front. So we're pretty well ready to go now.
Shit's
Yeah.
slippery up here. I'll
Or let's
move it.
ditch it, it's fucking flat.
Not gonna do much aside from.
Here you go, you can pause the video and read all about Mysterion. There you go. Alright, just ditched the stern line, Haley's ditching the bow line. So initially when I'm going forward, I'm going to get used to spot and make sure I'm not going to hit straight Marine's boat. And then if it looks good, come on back to here, and then you can see how that would untie nicely. Now in forward gear, you can see that the stern is starting to swing out. Now I get Haley to undo the spring line and we just back out. Now clear of the powerboat, I'm able to just press the bow thruster and wait until the stern is clear and go forward. Alright, Haley is swapping all the fenders around right now, and we're just about halfway towards the dock that we're heading to, and we're just passing the old Providence and the Master, two very famous local boats. Oh, look at her, beautiful. Cool little Chinese jump here. Yeah, we're gonna come in port side too, because she's got prop walk to port side in reverse, which makes it much easier to suck the stern in. We're just headed right over there. The shifting on this boat is better than any other boat I've ever driven. It basically has a clutch because it vaguely engages the gear if you press on the lever slightly, or you can push it all the way into forward. But there is no all the way into reverse gear. It's only kind of clutch action with it. It makes for a very, very controllable vessel. As we approached the transient slip that we scouted out in the morning, we realized that there was a boat in the way now. So we actually had to go forward and go to the customs check-in only spot, which was not a problem because we were only there for about 5 minutes. You can see that because of the prop walk, every time I give shots of reverse, the stern walks to port side. Combine that with the bow thruster and it's super easy to get this boat into a dock on port side. Woo! Nicely done, Haley. Had a beautiful encounter with 4 humpback whales and then came around Spanish Banks, and this is the beautiful entrance into Vancouver City. This is English Bay. Well, successfully brought her back, tucked her nicely into her slip, and shore power's getting plugged in, everything's getting taken care of, and she looks beautiful, especially with that sunset. Ooh-wee. What a boat. What a day. Phenomenal. Fantastically done. And here's the real star. She killed it. Amazing. Good job, Haley.
Good job, you.
Ooh, thank you. Thanks for watching. Next episode's going to be filled with just as much epoxy as Perihelion. Help us out by liking, subscribing, or joining our Patreon. Thank you so much.